Oh, wow. We're back in our lily pad kingdom. Oh, wow.
Speaking of lily pads, Lily just walked in, so that's why I had to do
Lily's pads. Pads.
That's my cat.
We love it. Yes. Yes. But, bonjour et bienvenue à The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. I'm out of caffeine at the moment, so I'm just drinking water because hydration is very important.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I decided to wear. Actually, this is the first, I think, shirt I ever wore on the podcast. It is my cornbread shirt. Yay! I think so. I love me some cornbread, but I am just drinking some water.
And hello. I am Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I too am currently drinking just water. Same brand as David. And that's just because that's what we do. And hydration is definitely important. But if I was drinking anything else, I would be drinking anything cup mug. Cup mug. Ooh. Panel full of cup mug. Panel full of cup mug. Burr. And you can get your cup mug at LanaGCreations.etsy.com, where we do ship internationally and domestically here in the U.S. So there are no excuses. Belgium, I'm looking at you. All of you. Get your cup merch. We supporting you. Support us. Period.
And we're back. It is episode 2 of Drag Race Belgique. And it sure was an episode of television.
Yep.
It happened.
Yep.
And also, yep. I will say all of the lead up or all the build up that we got in the trailer last week being like, oh my God, this episode is going to be so dramatic. Oh my God, it wasn't.
I'm glad because I got scared, especially for Alvilda.
I did too. I was very concerned, but there was no need for concern. Really, honestly, no need. But we're going to talk about everything going on with this episode. Before we do that, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. We've got 5 different drag series happening right now actively, and one that will be retroactively viewing with early access and exclusive content available on our membership channel. So if you would like to become a member of the channel and join the tea room, we will have exclusive Lana Reacts content on Drag Race Philippines Season 1. So make sure to go check that out. You can also join us on Patreon, same content, different platform. And we've got 2 other channels as well with Almost All Things Reality TV and Almost All Things Eurovision Song Contest. So make sure to check us out as well. In like a week and a half, we'll be live reacting to the Belgian Eurovision entry. So, hey, that's a thing. But we come back into the workroom. No one went home because it was a double save. And I, for one, am still very thrilled about that.
Me too.
Yes. But they're just like, oh, now the competition is stepping up because this is a fierce season and we're all doing really well. And I was like, yes, sure. It's like, okay, now we have to heat it up. Episode 1 wasn't enough fire for you. Now we're bringing the fire. Sure, okay.
But there was already so much fire in the first episode.
I know. So much fire on Drag Race recently.
Mhm.
What's up with that? What is up with all the fire? I don't know. But we come into the workroom the next day. They're doing their thing. Rita comes in looking fine. I think, are they trying? I know. I was gonna say, are they trying to do like a France Nikki Doll chant?
Maybe.
It's like Rita. I'm like, it doesn't flow off the tongue in the way that Nikki's does, unfortunately. But for the mini challenge, we are doing karate. I was confused.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. And most of them don't know who he is.
So we're doing martial arts moves for a new Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. I knew who he was.
I definitely
know.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we don't know who he is. Okay. This was dumb and not in the good way for me. I'll be honest.
I mean, I thought it was fine. I didn't have any issues with it. I thought it was kind of cute, like seeing some of them, like how camp they went into their little fights there. I will say, like, I rewatched it, and Madame Yoko had like this like lazy expression as she was like, oh
yeah.
And I thought it was really cute.
And then the breasts, just everyone was like, I'm gonna hit you with my breasts. Breasts.
Or Star's little drumsticks.
Oh God. I mean, in the end, I think the right person won, which was Madame Yoko. Love to see it. Love to see it. And she doesn't really get it. She spins the wheel first. Is that what she won?
Yeah, it was kind of a weird prize because she still got no choice. It was all down to fate.
She was the first person to spin the wheel and choose a color to make a monochromatic design challenge look. And I was like, well, once again, Belgique is stealing directly from other Drag Race franchises because they literally did this challenge on All-Star 7. But okay.
I wouldn't call it stealing. I mean, it's all under the same umbrella.
There was a wheel, and it was a monochromatic design challenge, David.
It's all under the same
right. It's all under the same umbrella. Everybody's
but what I'm saying is a lot of things feel directly inspired by other franchises. I want to see something unique from these.
I mean, but could we just be honest? I feel like every franchise borrows from each other's franchises' ideas because I've seen a lot of the same challenges just in different forms in every season of every Drag Race that I've watched thus far. I was like, at some point, they're going to do something that says, oh, that's a reminder of what they did in All-Stars 8. Oh, that's a reminder of what they did on All-Stars 7. Oh, that's a reminder of what they did in season 2 of France. It's always, I think the people who are putting the shows together are all watching the same thing, and they're just blending these challenges together, but doing it a little bit, tweaking it a little bit different to add culture from where they are. So it's okay.
Sure.
It's okay.
Sure.
It's like Survivor. Everything looks the same.
Yeah. So yes, so they spin a wheel, they get their color, they go to do the designing, and it becomes very clear very quickly who can sew and who cannot sew. And this is the classic trope of, oh, you came to Drag Race and you can't sew. Okay, most drag queens don't know how to sew. Like, okay.
Sure.
Party. Like,
it's not like it's a requirement to be a drag queen. You must know how to sew. That's never a requirement in anything. Exactly. But it's nice if you could, but you don't really have to.
Yeah. So we get a little bit of the workroom stuff, and this is where we see Alvilda kind of panicking. And this is where we get her line about her being a fraud, and it's from at least what I got out of it, it was just relating to her not being able to sew.
Yeah, I think it seemed like she was worried about failing and letting people down, and then people being like, "Oh, you don't deserve to be here." Like I was worried about it last week, but I really think it's that imposter syndrome that some people
Yeah.
get, and they feel like they don't deserve something. And yeah, it's really hard to see with her because I do think she's one of the more talented queens on this season, on this cast. And even if she's not great at everything, she still deserves to be there. And she's solidly earned her place so far in the season. So yeah, my heart went out to her, and it was just so sad to see her cry.
I mean, I have a problem with people saying people don't deserve to be anywhere. They were selected, so you obviously deserve to be there. So, but I understand people have that, like you said, imposter syndrome, where they're like, "Oh, I don't deserve to be here. I'm not that good at this." Yada yada yada. But baby, you deserve to be there like anybody else. If you got selected to be there, then you deserve to be there. There's nobody in that place or who has walked into a workroom or any situation where they were chosen that doesn't deserve to be in the room. So I kind of want all people, all queens, and anybody, just life lessons. If you were selected to do something and you were chosen by someone to be in that space, you deserve to be in that space.
Deserve.
Period.
Deserve.
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 Period.
What I will say also is we see Rita come in and do her little walk to moment. And I was like, oh, Rita's actually giving like really good advice. So she's talking to Morphae and she's like, I think we just need to see you own your space and get out of your shell a little bit. So she just has, while everyone else is just around her working in the workroom, she just has Morphae yelling. And I'm like, okay, I'm here with you. And then Rita like, okay, so don't yell. I'm like, this is the Rita I remember liking a little bit. I'm like, okay, Rita, I see you again. And then when Chloe comes over, she's just like, this, and Rita's just like, stop, breathe, calm down, and breathe. And I think in that regard, I'm like, okay, maybe Rita is going to be a little bit more of a compassionate host this season. I don't know. I didn't get a whole lot of compassion from her in season 1, so we'll see. But I was like, oh, this was a lovely moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought most of the queens got some pretty good advice. I don't know how much anybody changed their designs, because it seemed pretty much like everything we saw drawn on the paper is what actually ended up on the runway.
And it seemed like they were all about like at least halfway through what they were making anyway.
True.
So it's like it's very difficult to
hard to pivot.
Yeah, pivot.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really have anything else from the workroom stuff other than what happens the next day when we get our moment with Loulou.
Yeah, we can go there now.
Right there.
Please do, David.
Yeah, so we hear people talking about different things, like just being gay in general and how that was like for them. And then Loulou is the main one that opens up and talks about how hard it was for her because she grew up Arab, and when she was a kid, she knew she was gay, but she thought it was like only her. Like it was only a thing that happened to her. And in that moment, I actually kind of related to her a little bit, because growing up, like anything that had to do with gay, like I was not allowed to be exposed to that. Like if there's anything gay in a movie or something, I was not watching that movie. So it did, like I knew pretty early on, but it just was not something I thought about being a thing. And honestly, like kind of my gay awakening was when I had a library book about Greek mythology, and there was like a painting of something that like depicted something kind of gay, and I'm like, oh, that's a thing. That's a thing. That's me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I my heart went out to her, like just knowing the struggle that she went through there. Just kind of like finding her identity and finding that acceptance. Yeah. It was hard to see.
I definitely get that as someone that, I came out at an earlier age, but even then I was like one of a few. And so I didn't get really exposed to much queer stuff until college. And then it was like, gay! And everyone around me was gay. And I was like, oh, this is nice. This is lovely. Great. Wonderful. And that's really all it was a cut and dry episode where there's not a whole lot of fluff going on. So we're gonna just go to the runway and just talk about some looks and do that and stuff and things and stuff like that. So we have our judges and 2 guest judges, because I guess that is what we're doing now.
Next week.
Have not next week, I guess. I don't know. We have Elvis Pompilio, who is a hat maker. Okay. And Marie Guérin, who is the editor-in-chief of Elle Belgium. I was like, cool.
My roommate said he looked like Roger Rabbit.
Oh my God. Not this. No. The garments this week are interesting.
I wish so. Rita had, it's really hard to see in this picture, but there was like this really deep forest green fabric all around her. And I was like, that's too dark. Like, I want to see some contrast. Like, it just blended too much into the black. So yeah, that was the only thing I didn't like about her look. Other than that, like, I'm getting kind of like fashionista wicked look from it. So
Right.
good for her.
It's definitely a step up from last week.
Sure. I was gonna say, I think Marie has my favorite look, honestly. Because I don't even know what's happening with Leo here. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Misty either. No, thank you. But
I was wondering where that was earlier.
I forgot to play it. Sorry. Category is Drag en Ciel
Or
Rainbow.
Over the Dragabo.
No.
Well, that's what the English subtitle said.
know. Like, no. It doesn't make logical. No. And first up, Morphae in black.
Yeah. So I did not really care for this look too much. I thought it was a pretty basic silhouette, and it gets really bunched up around her waist. I don't know if you all can see here. There's just something about how it laid on her wasn't great. What I do like is the feathers at the bottom. But even I didn't even realize that was feathers at first until I went and took a second look. I thought it was kind of tattered fabric. It's hard to do these chromatic looks when there's not many like shades of something. Like if she had like a lighter shade of black is gray, so that makes it hard to do. Also, my least favorite part is this wig. Like, I will admit, like, this, maybe I just don't get it, but this looks like the most tattered, rattiest wig that I've ever seen on Drag Race. So her face looks stunning, though. I love her face. She can't go wrong when it comes to makeup.
I'm not a fan of this. I don't like the way it's cut at the top around. Like, I guess she was purposely trying to cut it where the nipple shows, and she put the feather on the nipple, but it just looks weird. It is disproportioned on this off that side. It's weird. I don't like the feathers. I don't like the wig. I'm not a fan of this look.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be desired with this. I like that we're doing a kind of structured top. I do agree with you, Lana. I think the cut of the top is a little weird because it comes from the bust down to the side of the rib cage, which I didn't really love. I think if it had been symmetrical, having those cuts on both sides, maybe I would like it. So it was like coming up into this like angular into this sort of like strong structured piece on the bodice. I don't think the feathers are that inventive. I think she had a hard challenge ahead of her because black is not an easy color to wear on Drag Race, period. But it's definitely not the worst thing to walk the runway, I can tell you that. But I didn't particularly care for it either. Of course.
I gave it a 55.
I gave her a 40.
Gave her a 50. Next up, Chloe Clarke.
Chloe Clarke. I will get this out of the way. I think this was very safe. I don't think it belonged anywhere near the bottom 2 or 3.
Agreed.
I'm getting the impression they're not featuring Chloe.
I'm getting the impression she might go home next week.
Mm-hmm. I think her problem is she's a little bit too similar to a lot of the queens that did well in the first season, and I don't think they want a repeat of that.
Yep.
So I'm very worried for her. As far as this look goes, I think it's structured very well. In fact, I think this was probably my 5th favorite of the night. I like the red. The only thing I'm not crazy about is kind of the beige. I don't even know how you like describe this.
Paneling. The beige paneling.
Lapel. It's like a beige lapel.
Yes, paneling, lapel. Either way, I didn't like that. But then I did notice as it went on, it seemed like the only other color that people were allowed to use out of their color range was that beige. So I don't know. I wish she had gone for a different shade of red if she had it. And then the actual bottom cut of the dress is not your typical cut of a dress. It's like very angular, and I don't know if that was a choice or if that just showed lack of like expertise in creating a garment. It didn't take away too much for me. Like I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, I want to have like angles to how the actual bottom part goes. So other than those little nitpicks, I think it's a fairly decent look.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's it's rather safe. It's not too offensive, but it's not like groundbreaking either. So I thought it was like a perfectly safe outfit. I think her hair, the wig is good, her makeup is good, how she accessorized it was good. I just think the dress itself was so basic and not technically made that well, but well enough.
I'm so glad that both of you think this was perfectly safe because I also think this was perfectly safe.
Mhm.
I actually really like a lot of the detailing that she did. I like this little tulle, almost like scarf situation, because I think that adds a different texture than everything else going on with this like faux leather situation. I love the glove. I actually really like this beige lapel. I think these two colors for me work pretty well together, and it provides a little bit of visual interest as I'm going throughout the rest of the garment. I do agree. The cut of the dress itself is not the best. I don't think that was intentional. I think that's just how she cut the fabric. And is a wrap dress a simple sort of concept? Yes. Does she look good at the end of the day? Yes. And so I'm so frustrated because I'm really enjoying what Chloe is bringing so far.
Mm-hmm.
The talent wasn't the best, and she deserved to be in the bottom for that, I will say. But I'm really liking her personality. I'm really liking her drag. Her face is gorgeous. I also personally think I would have done a hair off of the face with this, but that's just me because it does hide a lot of the dress, which I think is exactly what she was trying to do. And even this cap sleeve she has going on, I think there's a lot of elements here that bring it beyond just a generic wrap dress. I don't think it was bad by any means of the imagination. So I'm frustrated for Chloe because I like her a lot.
Me too.
Me too.
Scores.
68.
I gave it a 62.
I'm going to give her a 70. I think it was an adequate dress made of materials that is on her body.
It's a perfectly good dress.
So, moving through the rainbow, next up is Alvilda in orange.
Alvilda. So, Alvilda is probably my favorite right now.
Okay.
With that said, I really like Alvilda. I would not have had this in the top, personally. First of all, I do not really love these two oranges together. Like, I don't think that they blend well enough. I do like that kind of velvety orange fabric that she used. I think the actual shape of it is pretty basic as well. And I like the back, especially the little reveal we got at the end. But overall, I thought this was like a little bit too simple for me, and I get it. She's not somebody that is very well versed when it comes to sewing, so I thought it was a decent effort overall. I probably would have had her safe, but like a low safe, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're talking about like I agree with you about the oranges. No, I don't really like the colors together. The dress, the silhouette is simple. It's fine. It's a simple, safe, good, decent dress. I might think I like Chloe's a little bit better than I like Alvilda's, but I don't think it was top worthy at all. I'm gonna be honest. It definitely wasn't top worthy, but I felt it was still a good dress. It was she looked good in it. It was fine. I like the wig. I'm not sure why the black and white stripe, this black stripe had to be there. It feels a little like just something you threw in there and just to do it. I don't know. It was fine. It was fine.
You know, for it being two panels sewn together, she sold the fuck out of it. And that was the thing that I was most impressed by. I think where the cutouts are, I think is not that bad. I agree with you both. I don't think I would have had her in the top. I really don't know where I would have had a lot of people, so I'm curious to see what my scores end up being at the very end.
Mhm.
I will ask you, David, for that because I know you're keeping track of them. But I'm like, there's a lot of people that like, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these girls in any other design challenge might have fallen in the bottom, and that's no shade. That's just kind of like, it also has to do with the quality of materials they were given, because they were not given good materials. I will say that as well. Like, they did the best they could with the materials that they were given, and I think a lot of these looks are around the same for me as far as like skill level is concerned. I think she sold this very well. I agree. I don't get the wig with this. I like the updo as a wig. It's a good looking wig on her. I just don't get it with this story that she's telling. But overall, not bad. Scores.
64.
Yeah, we're 61.
69.
Nice.
Thank you. Next up in yellow, quote unquote,
Gold.
Next up in gold is Gabanna.
Wait, was somebody else yellow? No, I'm a little confused.
No, she was yellow,
Okay.
but all of the fabrics she used were gold. Because for a second, I wasn't paying attention, and I thought Alvilda had yellow because of the way that tulle little like boa she made. I thought she was yellow, but no.
Okay. Well, good for her. Good for her for using gold, because I'm not mad at this look. This is another one. Like, I think we did my 3 safes in a row. But this is the highest of the safes for me. I do think it's a little bulky in places, but I like the idea, and I think it's constructed fairly well. I really actually like the sleeving part. It just feels like they're uneven. Like one, I think maybe it's because one of them's bunched up a little more and the other one is extended a bit. So that did distract me a little bit. So I wish she had taken one last glance in the mirror and tried to make those a bit symmetrical. But speaking of symmetrical, she went for the asymmetry when it came to the leg part, and I thought that was a nice touch as well. And I like her necklace, but it does take away her neck completely. So that was kind of my only thing there. I think if you're going to do that, you don't need the long hair down in front of it, because it just kind of looks like a neck brace at that point. But overall, I thought this was very solid. Definitely my fourth favorite of the night.
I think it's probably it's definitely safe. It's a safe, but like you said, high safe. It's not bad. It's constructed pretty decently and well. And I like her fabric choices. Like she has that shiny metallic gold and then the muted kind of gold wrap around it, which is like, okay, that's a cute contrast of what she's doing. And the red hair just like is popping because of all the gold. So I'm not mad at this look. I agree with you about the sleeves. I'm like, I don't like how it's bunchy on one side and stretched out on the other side. And it just seems like if that was intentional, I didn't like it. If it wasn't intentional, I wish you would have fixed it. It's fine. I agree with you about the neck piece too. Like, take that neck off. Take the necklace off because it's too big around. Unless she's wearing a breastplate and she's trying to cover
That's
it.
what I was
So
wondering
that's
is
what I think
whether she
she's
was
doing.
wearing.
I think she's trying to cover the breastplate part of the neck, which is great because
Yes.
then we would complain about how that looked like she went a turtleneck.
Exactly.
So I get it. So if you're going to do that, but I still think it could have been a little bit smaller. I think that having that much neck, it takes away and look like I ain't got no neck. And it's like shoulders and head. And it's kind of I need
Floating head.
Floating head, right?
A little bit, yeah.
So,
It's almost like a mane.
absolutely. It's like the guillotine is there, and it's just like,
Ooh, not the guillotine.
it's there. But other than that, I think her makeup is great. Her face looks great. The wig is all right. It's a little flat, but it's all right. That's all right.
2 weeks in a row with these kind of flat, wavy wigs. I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
interested to see Gabanna in another wig. I will say
Mhm.
that. Or another style of wig. Let me say that. I think overall this isn't bad. I think what's happening with the sleeve, where one of them is unbunching, I don't think that's intentional. I think that's just it came undone. Because I think the point is supposed to be scrunchy sleeve. And if the point is scrunchy sleeve, I love it. I love the scrunchy sleeve. I think it works really well with this. What I actually had an issue with is this like almost skirt thing, which is just a piece of fabric wrapped around her body. I didn't think that was necessary really at all. It looks like a last minute add-on to me. And I wish it was instead part of the bodysuit because I actually think the bodysuit is pretty well constructed. I like the double strap she's got going on. I wish if she's hiding a breastplate line, I kind of wish instead she had done like a halter situation and had a strap going up and around and that was covering instead. I think that would have been a little bit more flattering. Overall, though, I'm really not mad at this look at all. I think it's pretty well constructed. So, hell, maybe my scores will say that Gabanna should have been in the top. I don't know. Like, they might. We'll find out. But scores.
71.
65.
I'm going to give it a 73. Oh, no. Next up in green, Sarah Logan.
Yeah, like I said with the Alvilda, I didn't like those oranges together. I don't like these greens together either. They didn't quite work for me. It just feels so fabricy, you know? Like if she was going for a bulky sleeve, kind of like Gabanna, it did not work as well on this look for me. It just looks like she didn't think to cut anything out. So yeah, it's a lot of fabric going on. And it was a bit distracting. I think her face looks great though. She actually was kind of reminding me of Laganja Estranja, and it might have been the colors too, kind of incepting me. but something about her face also gave me Laganja. I'm glad she didn't do just a showgirl look. But yeah, overall, this was definitely one of my least favorites of the night.
Yeah, this was unfortunate because I felt like she did, like, she didn't even need those sleeves if she would have just, like, because they're not connected to the dress anyway. So it's like, just take those sleeves off. Let the dress be the dress. And it just, it just was too much. It was too, like I said, too much fabric, not constructed well, um, not put together. It just wasn't. It wasn't right. It wasn't. Do I hate this look more than I hate Morphe's look? Morphe's look? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I feel bad because I feel like it's potential there. It's just like it's one of those things where they say once you finish a garment, look at it and then edit it down. This needed to be edited down, and if she would just took those sleeves off, but then it's like, but that's not enough fabric to actually make a
But then it's
dress
literally a panty, a belt,
and
and a
some
piece of
stretch.
neon green
Right,
fabric
and it's
wrapped
so
around her
that's
neck.
it's just it just wasn't constructed well. The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm just like,
I think I would rather her just lose the cape part because I thought said she was going to come out with like nothing in the back, but then she turned around and it was just a ton of fabric back there too.
Yeah.
yeah.
I would have loved keep the sleeve in my scenario, keep the sleeve draped open back and then have like a bikini. Like I think like scrunchy sleeve, big open back bikini. I don't hate that idea. Or like a one piece maybe. I don't know. It's just it's not good, unfortunately, Sarah. I thought when she was designing it in the workroom and we heard her talk about it, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a really cute concept." And then it wasn't. She just wrapped some fabric on her body and called it a day. Scores.
58.
I gave it a 40.
30. Sorry, girl. Next up in blue, Madame Yoko.
Thank goodness.
I know.
Thank goodness because if they got there were a few things that I absolutely agreed with, and her being the second of the night, I 100% agree with. This was easily my second favorite of the night. I thought this was a really good shape. She did a good job of picking different blues that worked well together. I don't know why they were so caught up on this wig. I think it was the guy. He just could not shut up about this wig. Like, who cares? Like,
Hat man, will you please shut the fuck up with your no drag knowledge mouth?
Yeah, I did not mind the wig at all. The one thing that kind of bothered me was kind of seeing through that the beige part in the middle, and you can clearly see the outline of her corset in the front and the back. That was a little distracting for me. But overall, like I really like the pants. I thought this was impressive, and maybe the bar's a little low, but still, good job.
I like the look. I really thought she looked good in it. And I like the wig. Like sometimes you don't have to have a big, long, draggy, huge wig. Sometimes you just want it because we all don't wear hair like that all the time. Sometimes it's just a cute little blunt cut. And I liked it. I think she looks stunning in it. I love the blues that she chose to go with each other. I like that she made the pants and then had the back skirt overlay thing to it. That was kind of cute. I didn't even notice the corset thingy when I watched it, and I noticed that you just said it. So honestly, it didn't bother me that much because I didn't even notice it till now. So I thought it was a good look. I was impressed. I was very happy with her. I was like, oh, she had a good week this week. Yeah, I was very excited because I'm like, yeah, she had a very good week this week. And I was so excited for her. I liked it a lot. I think she looks beautiful.
I agree. This was my second favorite of the night for sure. I noticed the corseting, and I just wish either she hadn't. I don't know that she would have necessarily needed to with the way that the pants fit her. But whatever's most comfortable with her drag body, do whatever you're gonna do. Or if she just put another of those beige panels over it, just to hide it a little bit more. I don't think she realized when she made it that she would need an extra panel, which is fine. It doesn't take away from the overall look for me, because I do love this like cropped blazer situation with this like square cutout in the middle. I don't know why, but I like it. The pants are really good. She, I think, was the best at pairing her fabrics together and taking as much advantage of what they were given as she could. And I like this little ginger pussycat wig. What's wrong with a pussycat wig? Hat man.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, I think Madame Yoko looks gorgeous, and I'm very excited because I'm really liking her.
Me too.
Me too.
Scores.
78.
I gave her an 80.
I'm going to give her an 85.
We've been agreeing a lot.
We have been.
Now, that might change.
Let's see if that continues with La Veuve.
Love Veuve. Okay, when I first saw this, I was like, okay, I get it, because she was talking about how she wanted to go for the Disney villain inspiration. So I was like, okay. But the more I looked at it, the more I really do not like this at all. Like, I'm gonna say it. This is easily my least favorite of the night. I think she's super lucky that she was not lip syncing, because if you look at this look could be made in about 2 minutes. All you have to do is take some fabric, wrap it around, take a little piece of fabric, tie it around the waist to hold it together, take some tulle, wrap it around your arms. Like, there is zero like sewing that went on here, no hemming. It's just fabric wrapped around her.
Is that also not what Sarah Logan did?
Sarah Logan did it, but I thought she did it better. She had more of a concept than just wrapping it around my waist and tying it together. So I thought this was like extremely disappointing, because I like Veuve a lot. So my expectations for her are high. And yeah, I was just extremely let down with this. The more I looked at it too, and even like the top part just kept sinking down. Her nipples kept poking out. So yeah, I really am a little surprised she was not lip syncing, and I would like to see it. I bet she's a great lip syncer.
To this song too, I would have loved that.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to agree with you, David. I did not like this at all. I was just like, it's just, and I was very upset because I'm like, y'all know how I feel about purple.
Mm-hmm. She said it's her favorite color too. So
I'm like,
I know. I was like, that makes her even more my doppelganger.
Like, I love this purple, and I'm like, I mean, I like the color still on her. I just don't like what she did with the look. It just didn't do it for me like I was expecting it to do. I'm not a fan of the neck piece. I think her makeup is stunning. I think the wig is good. And I think the wig is what saved her, honestly, for me.
Mm-hmm.
But because the wig is stunning, but the dress itself is just, like you said, fabric wrapped around with a bow. And I'm not that impressed by that, unfortunately. But I like Veuve, which I that's the crazy part. I like her a lot, but I was not. I thought, yeah, for sure she's in the bottom two. For sure she's in the bottom two. But
well, this was my favorite look of the night. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, there is,
Absolutely
I
not.
cannot even fall for
Absolutely
that
not.
because
couldn't even
there is
laugh.
such a
Absolutely
clear
not.
number one look for
Oh,
I couldn't even
obviously, we'll
laugh.
get there we'll
I
get there very shortly.
couldn't even laugh at that. Like,
Okay, wow.
I'll laugh.
Anyway, thank you, David. I appreciate you very much. Unlike some people here. Yeah, this wasn't good, unfortunately. I think her spot right in the bottom 3 was very deserved for me. Because now that I think about it more, I think I would have had Morphae in the bottom 2. But yeah, I definitely don't think that there is any sort of real, sewing talent done here. It's a piece of fabric wrapped around her waist with a belt. But what I will say, did she sell this on the runway pretty damn well? Yes. And so I think she sold it in a way to where I was like, okay, I don't need you in the bottom 2. But her low placement was very deserved in this episode for me. So, scores.
29.
Ooh. Okay.
I gave her 39.
Ooh. 59? I guess.
I was gonna give her a 40 to match Morphe and Sarah's, but I was like, just 1 point less.
Next up in pink, Star.
Top 3. Top
Yeah.
3. Very solidly top 3.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very surprised that she was not in the top because I had such a clear top 3 this week. It was everything else that kind of like blended and was a little blurry. But I thought this was constructed very, very well. I was impressed. I just like it really just comes down to the construction and I think a good balancing of colors here too. In fact, we said Madame Yoko might have matched the blues together well. I think I actually prefer the blending of the colors here slightly. It's pretty close between the two. Once again, she has the beiges on there. We keep seeing those beiges pop up. But I even like her kind of headpiece that she has going on, just like the headband part. Like it gives it kind of like a glamorous superhero feel to it. So I thought she was very, very solid. Like definitely in my 3rd place slot of the night.
It was good. I think this is a solidly good look. I was like, okay, cool. Star did that. I like how she constructed the garment. I liked how she accessorized the garment. I do like her makeup. She looks stunning. I love this little short wig, swoop wig. I like that.
Swoop doo.
Up swoop doo, babe. And I liked it. And I love how she was like, you know what, I got a little breastplate on. I'm gonna cover it up, but not with a necklace, but with another panel of the pink, like it's a neck guard thing. It's cute. I liked it.
Yeah, I've grown to like it more than I did the first time I watched it. Because the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, I don't know that I like this all this much. And then I paid a little bit closer attention to it. I really like what's happening with all of the different panels of the beige she has going on. And I love this beige against this like rosy pink she has. I like that she's got this like glittery pink bodysuit situation underneath it. The asymmetry of this is gorgeous. I don't normally love when it's exposed shoulder, exposed leg on the same side of a garment, but here it kind of works for me. Yeah, she would have been top 3 for me for sure. And so far, she's the only person to still be safe 2 episodes in a row. So, yeah. Scores for Star.
75.
I gave her 72.
I'll give her a 77. And last up, in white, the obvious winner of this week's challenge, Loulou Velvet.
It was not close. It was not close. She bodied the girls. She taught them lessons. She literally taught them lessons because we learned.
Literally helped every single other person in this challenge.
But she was smart enough to make sure she took care of herself. She did not pull an Asia O'Hara.
Thank God.
Yeah, I think this is so cool looking.
Bless you.
Loulou is the surprise of the season so far for me because there were a few queens that I just wasn't sure how well they would do. And she's one of them that has really surpassed my expectations. I could absolutely see her making the finale. I could see her possibly winning. And I really like that she didn't even go for a wig here. Like, she didn't need it. It really works, especially with the kind of like transparent like face mask she has going on there. I thought that was a really nice touch. Just the whole shape of it like is stunning. So great job.
Yeah, I think this look is pretty. It's made well. It looks good on her. Is it the most groundbreaking thing I've ever seen? No, but it's pretty. I'm not like, for this lot, yes, it was the best of the best, but this lot wouldn't make a splash in half of some of the things we've seen. So it was good. It was fine. It was pretty. It was structured well, but I'm still not like, oh my God. But Loulou is doing it. She's killing it. This is good. It is suffice for the show she is on right now. But if you make it to an All-Stars, girl, you still got to step it up because that ain't going to be enough. But it was good.
I really think she did the absolute best she could with the material she was given.
Absolutely.
And by far did the best in this challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this is better than some of the design challenge looks we saw on another franchise this weekend.
Ooh.
Yep.
I will say that.
Ooh.
Better than about half of what we saw on another franchise. We'll talk about it later in the weekend. But I really like this. I love what's going on with this like transparent panel that comes out to the wing on the shoulder. I really like that. When Rita said it was giving Celine Dion at Eurovision, I couldn't agree more. Because Celine's was a white suit with a skirt that looks very similar to what Loulou did here. I think this is just the gender fuck version of that look, and in that I really love it. I love this plunging neckline that just goes all the way down to the waist. I think the skirt is really gorgeous, the way that it's constructed. I'm so happy that y'all slept on Miss Velvet and let me snatch her up because she is delivering and I'm thrilled to see it. So, scores.
88.
I'll give her an 87.
This is a 96 for me. I really enjoy it. Thank you.
Well, not me being the lowest scorer of the bunch.
Not you being the villain. Are you the drama, Lana?
Well, it is what it is. That's the case today.
I guess.
I think David only underscored me one time.
Mm-hmm.
I underscored you one time, I think.
Maybe.
I don't know.
No, I don't think you did, actually.
Probably not. I tend to have higher scores. It's just what I do.
Sarah Logan, he underscored you.
Oh,
I really didn't like that.
mm.
Did anything happen in the Untucked? I don't think anything happened in the Untucked.
Did they even show the Untucked?
Did they? I don't remember.
Well, they showed a little bit when they were just
if they did, so sorry.
No, they did. It was just more like the safe girls like us being safe again. They're like, well, you being safe for the first time. Gabanna.
Oh, yeah. Because Gabanna was like, oh my God, I love being safe. And Star's like,
right. So
I don't.
And then the girls come in and Loulou's like, yeah, I'm probably up the top. And
probably
Yoko was like at the top. And they kind of knew that Sarah was like, yeah, I'm probably at the bottom. And I think it was, Sarah, Chloe, and Veuve were kind of like, yeah, we're at the bottom. We kind of know. We got to get ready for the lip sync. So that was it. Really not much.
Well, we get a top three, which was Loulou, Madame Yoko, and Alvilda.
I would have put Star in there instead of Alvilda.
Yeah.
But
I also would have put Star in there, and I don't need you
Same.
to check my scores to tell me that,
Right.
David. And I think I remember what my bottom two is actually. But Veuve is saved, meaning that we have a bottom two of Chloe Clarke and Sarah Logan.
I totally disagree with him.
And according to my scores, I believe I would have said Sarah Logan and Morphae.
I would have had Veuve and Morphae.
It would have been a top. It would have been a bottom three for me. It would have been Veuve, Morphae,
Lana
Sarah.
says none of you are low safe. You're all lip syncing today.
But we did all have the same top three, the same middle three, and the same bottom three. I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Which I love when that happens for us, because it doesn't happen very often.
I know.
So Chloe and Sarah are lip syncing to Mad About You by Hooverphonic, who I was very excited to see because they are a two-time Eurovision representing band for Belgium. Well, technically, because they were supposed to represent in 2020, and then that didn't happen. But not with this song, but I was like, oh, Hooverphonic, lovely. I thought this lip sync was pretty close and pretty decent. I wasn't mad at this lip sync, but I did think there was a clear winner.
Yeah, I had a clear winner too. So first, Sarah, she seemed to be putting in a lot of effort, but it almost got to the point of a little desperation, and it just became a little manic at times.
This
But
is not a song that calls for that.
Right. I felt like Chloe just looked extremely comfortable the whole time, but I was not sure that they were going to give her the win. I was like, I think she's definitely winning, but I don't know if they're going to give her the win because she already got a placement she didn't deserve. So I could see her getting sent home when she didn't deserve it too.
I don't know if I was underwhelmed with this lip sync or not. I think I was just kind of like, okay. I think the person who won. And I don't think it was a bad one. It wasn't one of those I was like, oh, clearly this is the other person got mollywopped by the other one. Right. It wasn't anything.
Like another lip sync we saw this weekend.
I haven't seen it yet, so.
Oh, good.
But yeah, it's
you don't know which one I'm talking about.
I do know.
I don't either.
Oh,
I know which one you're talking about.
I don't.
Just kidding.
But yeah, I think that this was a decent lip sync with a clear winner.
Yeah.
Not that either one did bad.
Right.
Yeah. I think comfortable is really the right word to use when talking about Chloe, David. I agree with that for sure. She felt this felt like a song that she knew. She had it, and she had the right energy for it. And Sarah had energy. I just don't think it was the right energy.
Yeah.
Whereas Chloe just like drifted around the stage, just performing this as if she was the lead singer of Hooverphonic herself.
She became Chloe Clarke.
Yes. She actually does look like that lead singer of Hooverphonic. So I think that's kind of fun too. But yeah,
maybe it's her.
Surprise! No, it's not. Well, they did get rid of her in favor for another lead singer. So yeah, because between 2020 and 2021, there's a different lead singer for Hooverphonic.
I think it's her.
Oh my god!
Like, baby, I wrote this song. I know this.
I wrote this song. I know this song. This is my song, and I'm here to win.
Pick my song. Thanks.
And you know what she did? She did win.
She won.
Yeah.
And Sarah Logan is the first eliminated. I'm so depressed.
This was a bad week for me. Like, I started off with a very good high with my Madame Yoko winning the mini challenge. And I'm like, yes. And she did look good in her suit. I'm like, she had a good week. And then they took my other two people and they stuck them in the bottom.
Oh no, you have both of them.
Both of them.
No.
This is disgusting. This is the worst thing ever. So I was like, either way it goes, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be sad because I like them both, but the right
I had a
person.
great week in the draft, but
Good on you.
thank you. I'm really sad to see Sarah Logan go first. That's my namesake. I'm so sad. I really would have liked to see more of what she was going to give us on the season, but I'm so happy to have been introduced to Sarah Logan. And, she'll forever be remembered as the first boot. So, and at least she got 2 episodes, too. So, Sarah, you're lovely. You're wonderful. And we appreciate you and all of that. So, speaking of drafts, David, do we have a draft update?
Okay, yes, we do. So unfortunately, Lana loses her first person, and she is in last place in the draft right now with 12 points. I was last week, but I had all 3 of the safe girls. So that helped me a little bit here. So I am now in second place with 15 points. And once again, Logan is dominating in first place with 23.5 points. I'm surprised it's that close.
I said it off camera, but I'm like, I'm either absolutely dominating or absolutely flopping in drafts right now. There's no in between for me. Well, that is that. Next week, 90s girl groups.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. And a fabulous drag legend, it seems like. I don't know who she is, but I'm excited to get to know who she is. I was like, okay, work, diva. Sure. But yeah, that is that on episode 2 of Drag Race Belgique season 2. Let us know down in the comments who would have been your winner. Are you sad to see Sarah go? We are. We're very sad to see Sarah go. But make sure to subscribe if you have not already. We greatly appreciate it. Hit the like button. Hit all the buttons, except for the dislike. If you want to become a member of our channel, the join button is down below here on this video, or you could go to Patreon, same content, different platform. We greatly appreciate the support over there. We'll have a lot of exclusive content coming very, very soon. And if you like Lana, you're going to really like our membership content. Because, spoiler, there's a lot of Lana. Especially this month. There's a lot of Lana.
If you don't like Lana, what's wrong with you?
If you don't like Lana, you're wrong. Okay, we like having Lana around. We appreciate Lana very much.
Let me know so I can make that my exit to leave.
No.
Let me know.
If you don't like Lana, you're not welcome here. I'm kidding. But am I kidding? Probably not. Make sure to subscribe to both of our other channels for almost all things reality TV and almost all things Eurovision Song Contest. We're almost through national selection season. We've hit the peak. We're on the down. As we're filming this, 3 national finals are happening, and I'm anticipating results as soon as I close out this podcast. So make sure to follow our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You could go follow the 3 of us down below as well if you would like, because we're fun. We're lovely people. We do lovely things. And you could also go get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug, down below as well. And with all that being said, I'm stalling because I don't know whether Lana was going to pick up her cup mug or not. Stalling. More stalling. Thank you, Lana. Cheers.
Cheers. She got it.
Thank goodness. Goodbye.
Bye.
Au revoir.